Hello, New Covenant Community Church. Today we're going to be looking at Psalm 15. And as we look at Psalm 15, we see that first, this is a Psalm of David. That's the author of this psalm. And he's going to be talking about familiar themes that we see throughout the Psalms. So, O Lord, who shall sojourn in your tent? Who shall dwell on your holy hill? So he's going to address the Lord, and then he's going to ask, we see that idea of parallelism here in this line. So cola A and cola B here. This is a bicolon we talked about a while back. But who will sojourn in your tent? Who shall dwell on your holy hill? This idea of God's tent, God's holy hill, this idea of sojourning and dwelling. Those are parallel ideas. And really, this is just talking about who will be in your presence. And of course, God's tent is the place that he dwells, the tabernacle, right? David is talking about that. And where has David set the tabernacle up? Well, he's moved it to Jerusalem, hasn't he? And so that's the place, that's the holy hill that God dwells upon. So who can be in your presence, God? Who can come before you with sacrifices? And then he's going to answer that question. He who walks blamelessly. So who can do this? Well, he who walks blamelessly and does what is right and speaks the truth in his heart. Somebody who's blameless, who's true, who does what is right. That's the one who can do this. And then he's going to get, so those are the positive ones, blameless, true, right. Who does not slander with his tongue and does no evil to his neighbor. So these are the negative things. This person who can dwell in God's presence is somebody who doesn't slander, somebody who doesn't do evil to his neighbor, nor who takes up a reproach against his friend. So these are the positive aspects. These are the negative aspects. In whose eyes a vile person is despised, but who honors those who fear the Lord. This is also somebody who's able to spot the vile person and who is able to spot those who fear the Lord. So the one who can dwell in your tent and understands those things is those who also understands other people, the wicked and the righteous, who swears by his own hurt and does not change. So the person who can dwell in God's presence, who can make sacrifice before God, who's in right relationship with God, is the one who, when they swear, when they make an oath or a promise, they'll do so and they'll keep their word, even to their own hurt. Even when they're like, yes, I'll help you move. Oh yes, I'm moving July 15th in Phoenix, Arizona, and I've got a piano. I told you I'd help you move, even though you're moving in the middle of the heat, and even though you've got a piano. That's what the righteous person does. They swear to their own hurt, and they do not change. As Jesus would talk about this person, like in the Sermon on the Mount, they let their yes be yes, and their no be no. They're people who are people of their word. They do what they say they're going to do. This person who does not put out his money at interest, who does not take a bribe against the innocent. A lot of these descriptors of this righteous person we're going to see again in Psalm 112. So Psalm 112 has a lot of these characteristics. But this person doesn't lend out their money at interest, which the law prohibits them doing anyway. So they live according to God's word. They do not take a bribe against the innocent. So Deuteronomy 16, right around verse 18, talks about how judges and the righteous don't take bribes. So these are the people who enjoy right relationship with God, fellowship with God. These are people who can worship God in his dwelling place. And it says, he who does these things shall never be moved. That looks like the person of Psalm 1, doesn't it? The one who's planted by streams of water. And why are they planted by streams of water? Because they dwell on God's law. They dwell on God's word day and night. So this person looks like the person in Psalm 1 or in Psalm 112. This is the person who enjoys fellowship and right relationship with God.